To make their case, detectives must
Hi
obtain
guys.
tangible evidence from this interrogation. Otherwise,
Let
Lynch
me
could recant his confession at any time.
mute this
and possibly
TV. Hi everyone. Welcome. Hi, Mr. Jamaican Real Estate. How are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? Hi guys. So this live was supposed to have happened. Hi guys. This live was supposed to have happened from Thursday, but I kind of injured myself. So I wasn't able to do it on Thursday, so I'm doing it today. Hi Monique, hi Dwayne, hi Ed. Guys, we have a hashtag Hero Doctor in the chat. Hi Ed. So I'm doing it this evening because I think this is a really important topic, and I want us to really go into it. And because this is not a topic that I am very familiar with or knowledgeable in, I invited my friend Khadine, who's gonna join us in just a bit. I invited my friend Khadine to join because she is the PR person. And let me explain. She's in the chat, and she's gonna join me in just a few. But I've been seeing some things happening with some of the people that I follow, that I see on social media. I've been seeing a lot of things going on, and it's just striking me as a bit tone deaf. And at first I was upset because I was like, why are we doing this? But then I realized that everybody's just trying to keep themselves afloat, if you want to call it that, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, trying to, I don't know. So we're probably not thinking straight, and probably just don't know, because a lot of times we don't know. So I'm gonna now but it's about how to
Hi.
So I was just giving a primer before we really get into the conversation as to why we're actually having what we're having. It's because of what I've been seeing going on with certain pages. They are not managing the crisis properly in terms of how they manage their brands and their businesses, especially on social media platforms. And I see that it could lead to negativity for them. I jumped in your DMs, Khadine, and I was like, okay, so we can talk about this. You're the perfect person to help me, because this is not something that I'm not as familiar PR as I am with branding and marketing part. So Khadine Bailey is a PR specialist, and she is the CEO at Khadz Communications. So can you introduce yourself and let everybody know, who you are and what you do exactly?
All right. So first off, you're breaking up a little. I hope it's not my internet connection. So I'm trying to sort of figure out what it is that you're saying to introduce myself.
Yes.
All right. So again, you mentioned I'm Khadine Bailey, CEO of Khadz Communications. The real focus is to engage small and medium-sized businesses. That is my main niche. I think there is an opportunity to help small and medium-sized businesses to really find an opportunity to be visible in the marketplace. There is a place for everybody out there, and so you have to know that you have what it takes to compete amongst even the big wigs. A lot of small businesses are very shy about that. But again, through Khadz Communications, I am here to really inspire and create opportunities for them to understand that they're able to gain a piece of the market share.
Okay, awesome. And you do that through PR, right?
We have various services. Public relations is a core area. We like to integrate marketing because many times you will find that it's very important to integrate both strategies, PR and marketing, which we will talk about later. And I'll use examples of companies that are able to integrate both PR and marketing during the COVID-19, because this is what we're going to be talking about, yes? But there are other services that we offer. I enjoy training and public speaking, so we do that as well. But we also provide seminars and workshops for companies as well.
Okay. And so this is why Khadine is the perfect person, because she knows PR and she knows marketing, and she knows which one is preferable when, and when not to have one. And that's kind of the conversation that we're going to have today. When not to market, and instead PR, and when to market, as well as PR. So there's never a time when PR shouldn't be the mix, but there's a time when you can full on market your products and services, fine, no problem. And there's a time where it's easy.
Right.
You just need to take a bit and exercise implement your PR strategy. Because if you guys have been noticing my stories promoting this live, I'm talking about reading the room one-on-one. And by reading the room, I mean looking at what is going on around you, not just in the marketplace, but socially. Look at what's going on around you and being sensitive to that and responding to that in such a way where you are showing that you understand, showing that you care about what people, while still branding, while still marketing, while still maintaining a business. We're all trying to maintain our business right now.
Right. Your audience saying that they are not hearing clearly. You're sounding muffled.
I am muffled?
Yes, not hearing clearly. Audio isn't clear. Everybody's saying that.
My audio isn't clear. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is this any better?
Is it better? Camry is saying, Camry Ricketts is saying yes. Use an earpiece. Everybody's hearing now.
I think the problem is my fan. Are you guys hearing me any better?
Yeah. Yes, very much better. Yes.
Okay. I think the problem. Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. I think the problem is my fan. It's very hot today. I'm not sure why.
You have one fan to me, dear.
All right. So I was saying that in the promos that we have been doing. Oh, thank you guys. In the promos that we have been doing, advertising this live, you guys would have noticed that I keep talking about reading the room. Repeat everything. Okay, I'm repeating. Reading the room, meaning looking at what's going on around you, not just in the marketplace, but socially. What's happening in the society right now? We're experiencing a global pandemic, and a lot of people don't know what to do, because for a lot of us, for a lot of us, this is new, right? But there's a way to approach, and we're all still trying to maintain our business. We're all still trying to get sales. We're all still trying to do that thing, right? But there's a way to go about doing it that doesn't come off as insensitive or tone deaf. I don't know if you guys have been watching what's going on TV, but Ellen DeGeneres got in problems recently because she made a statement about feeling like a prisoner in her mansion, and people are going, really, you're in a mansion and you feel like a prisoner? Oh my God, you know. And several celebrities have come under fire for the same thing, because it's tone deaf for you to be sitting in your big pretty fancy house and then looking at the rest of us all here struggling and going, oh, I suffer, look at me. You know what I mean? So and now their PR people have to be doing a lot of the cleaning up the damage that is being
Yes.
done to their brand. So to avoid that happening to you, and okay, you're not a celebrity brand or whatever, but the same rules still apply, right? So Khadine, who is very knowledgeable with the PR, but also very knowledgeable with the marketing, is here to help us to understand why marketing, like full-on marketing right now, is not the best strategy, but why you should be implementing a crisis PR strategy. And by PR strategy, I mean a communication strategy with your audience that will not only endear you to them, but will also make them still want to support you even in a time like this. So Khadine, when you're ready.
All right. So you touched on several things. I'm going to take it step by step. So first of all, you did mention, and it's obvious to everybody, that we're in a time of crisis, which means that it cannot be business as usual. You have to change your tone. You have to change how it is that you communicate to your audience. You have to be sensitive towards all of that. You mentioned as well that there's a time for marketing and there's a time for PR. Absolutely. But there's also a time to integrate both. Now, you have different industries and how it is that they communicate. It will require either one or the other, while some industries will require both. I give you an example. When you look at the banking industry, if you should look at each social media platform, this is not the time to do marketing. If you understand what PR is, which means to focus on...
Hi, Jamaica.
PR is really about focusing on your reputation and your image as a company versus marketing, which looks at promoting or advertising. This is paid advertising, which will result in revenue. So when you look at the banking industry right now, they are executing PR strategies. Every message that they post is really to confirm and reassure their customers that, yes, you are safe with us. We are interested in your well-being. There's not a time right now. It's not a time right now to promote, hey, come save with us. Are you going to save with a bank when you're not making money? So you cannot be communicating that with them. Here is a time now to say, for example, they have their small business clients or their large business clients. They're putting on all these virtual discussions about how to manage your finances. They want to show that they care. And this is called empathetic marketing or mindful marketing. You have to be mindful. And when you're talking about mindful marketing and integrating PR, you're talking about the content and the context. Content meaning what your message is, not taken away from who you are as a brand, but content in terms of still being able to communicate your story. What's your story as a brand? And the context is how it is that it is done. So you use the celebrities as example, and the context, wrong context. You cannot be talking about COVID-19 and you're all, bored in your mansion. The context is just wrong. So during this time, I want to encourage small and medium-sized businesses. Don't panic, because during a crisis, it can actually make you or break you. You just have to sit down now. This is a time to show your leadership on how to solve problems. Right? And so you have to be able to sit and create a plan in terms of how you're going to survive this COVID-19. And how are you going to survive? Implementing proper PR strategies where you're able to not gain new customers really, but to retain them. You don't want to turn everybody off. All right, so you want to be able to do that as well. And I follow a lot of small businesses, and I commend some, while some them really not get it, which is fine. And that is why Khadz was born, because a lot of small businesses really do not understand this concept of public relations. Should I go on, or do you have any questions?
No, and you hit on something, you hit on something just now. It's about showing your leadership.
Yes.
And I talk about pivoting as well. Especially as digital brands, and you guys know I'm all up in the digital space. So clearly, this is who I am particularly talking to. You have to be flexible. You have to be flexible enough to, on a dime, pivot, because things change so rapidly in the digital space.
Absolutely.
What if something happened and Instagram crashed and shut down, and you are on Instagram, all right? What's going to happen if you no longer have access to your account? You're not going to come and make a video crying, oh my God, I lost all my followers. No. You do something else. You pivot. And that is what I really, if you get nothing else out of this, that is what I want you to do. But pivoting is not just about, okay, so maybe right now I shouldn't be selling this, but I should be selling this. Pivoting is also in your language, in your tone, in your post, and in your general communication, right? And your tone should change based on the situation.
Yes.
So you should be able to do that, but that requires you knowing your business very intimately and knowing what your capacity is, what the capacity that you have is, what is the infrastructure that you already have in place, and how quickly can you shift. So you have to be able to learn to do that, right, Khadine? You have to know your business intimately to be able to do that.
Well, you mentioned about not being able to lose the contacts that you have. And the first thing that you're going to do as a business owner is you're going to focus on the fundamentals. And when I say focus on the fundamentals, I'm talking about making sure that you communicate. One, you're going to use the opportunity to communicate to the stakeholders or to your clients. You have to do that. So COVID-19 is here. Make sure that you communicate. I applaud some of the small businesses who use this platform to say, hey, we know this is upon us, and these are the strategies we are using to ensure that hygiene remains a priority. Suppose you have partners within your business spectrum. You want to let them know that you're still open for business, but hygiene is the priority. Our customers and our staff is the priority. You have to communicate that in the first stage. And that is why I'm saying messaging, changing the message is very important. So if you had a fantastic campaign plan to promote a new product, you just have to step back for now. It's really important. And I want to point out that a lot of the well-known brands today emerged through this sort of crisis, and they were able to grow because they were able to connect with their customers. So you do have some companies who, for example, they continue to still market and without being very sensitive to what's going on. And sales may be good for you, but you have to remember as a business owner that you're in this for the long haul. And do not focus on the revenue when you're operating a business. Focus on building a brand loyalty. And when you build a brand loyalty, when things go wrong, people are still there for you. So if it is that you're marketing a product and you're just saying, hey, we have a 20% discount, COVID discount, maybe you'll have some people that will take advantage of it, but it won't last. They buy it today and tomorrow they totally forget about you. You're not building brand loyalty. And for companies that succeed and remain successful is because they have a growing customer loyalty, database. So I wanted to use this opportunity to really share some basic things, PR, understanding PR, because a lot of small businesses think everything costs. And it doesn't have to cost, right? So PR, for example, before I mention the steps, I want to use the telecommunications industry, which is different from the banking industry, where they're not promoting a service or a product right now. The telecommunications industry, they're integrating both because they still have to promote their product as it relates to, hey, you can top up right now. Here's the easiest way. but in their messaging, they're conscious of how it is that they're communicating.
Right. So they'll say something like, stay in touch with loved ones, check up on loved ones, right? Or top up now so you can stay in touch, or find out what's happening, or keep up with the news, or something like that. So they're giving you, they're still selling, but they're selling, they're pivoting their message to say, we don't just want you to top up because we want you to buy the credit, we want you to top up because you need to know if your loved one is safe. You need to know you need to be able to stay in touch and be able to communicate with your loved ones. And it might come off as disingenuous to a lot of people, but it still shows concern. You can take it however you want it, but it still shows concern. But before you go on, Khadine, I see some people, listen, marketing and PR is two different things. That's one. Secondly, nobody's saying that you need to not market, because I see some people talking about, but you still need to market. That's not the point. Clearly, you still need to market. It's about how. And the how changes because now you're not full-on marketing strategy. You're not aggressive. You're stepping back. And you know you're implementing your PR voice. Let's call it your PR voice. So you're putting your marketing voice aside, and you're stepping up with your PR voice to say, guys, we're still here. Yeah, we still have products to sell. However, at this time, we care more about your well-being than we care about you buying products. You are endearing yourself to your clients, and that psychologically will make them want to buy from you. It's just about your tone and your language, guys. I'm not saying don't market. What I'm saying is set aside the marketing voice and bring in your PR voice, which is very different and less about what the company wants you to do and more about what you can do for your audience, or what you're willing to do for your audience. Okay? So I just wanted to say that. Khadine, your turn.
What a lot of, again, the business owners, the small business owners need to understand. They still have a difficulty understanding this marketing versus PR. And again, you can do PR, which means creating a brand where you're able to connect. And you can, again, as you said, Kadia, you can promote your brand through that without saying, hey, this costs $10. I worked in an industry, in the tourism industry, and a lot of the consumers, you have to look at the current trends right now, and a lot of the consumers will support a brand based on what it is that they're doing, and not necessarily, oh, they have a fabulous room or so forth. That will include, that will be a part of it. Say, for example, being in the tourism industry, consumers were booking hotels because of those hotels who were environmental stewards. And voluntourism was a trend. So they would
ecotourism as well.
Yes, and so on, ecotourism or community tourism. So they would book a hotel because that particular brand really engaged their surrounding communities. And so you do have a market for that. So they would promote their environmental stewardship and community outreach. And again, you would see their customers talking about why it is that they booked this hotel. Oh, I booked this hotel because I was able to go into the interior of Jamaica and see the communities, and I'm so happy that I was able to book this hotel so that I can be a part of and give back. Right? So this is the new way of marketing. Having effective PR strategies does not cost as much when compared to
full-on marketing strategy.
Another thing too is again the virtual discussions and collaborations that we're having will certainly help. These are PR strategies, you know, because you see companies coming together because they're concerned and they want to help. And you will be surprised coming out of COVID-19 how these collaborations will create opportunities for the business to grow.
Thank you.
So you have to have a clear objective of what it is that you want to achieve during this time. If it is that, oh Lord, no, I can't have discounts, or I'm going to have discounts because, so many factors. Don't focus on the money, no. Focus on connecting. This is a time to connect. And through connection, you're going to retain your customers. And you will build a brand loyalty, and you'll see how it will play out through that time. I'll use large companies who are redesigning or revamping their message. Say, for example, Coca-Cola, the Olympics, they redesigned their logos and their messaging to promote social distancing. So during a crisis, the culture may change, and so you want to play upon that to ensure that people understand that you are in this with them. So, Coca-Cola is not saying, hey, drink this right now, the time is hot. Through supporting a global crisis by promoting social distancing, again, I cannot say it enough, you are going to be connecting with even more bigger audience. It's going to increase your audience. So please understand that.
Khadine, just to say this, that doesn't mean that you need to do live reports on COVID, because I've been seeing people do this and it's annoying. The same reason why people followed your page in the first place is going to be the reason why they still follow you now. So whatever content and messaging or whatever you had before, you can still maintain that.
Absolutely.
And again, you're shifting, you're not changing, you're shifting the message slightly now to include a more COVID-friendly message. So I see some people, everything the Prime Minister put out their post, every graphic or infographic about social distancing they post, and that's cute. That's what your stories are for. Post them to your stories, not in your feed. You still need to maintain your feed, although you can post, shift, just literally do this. You're not completely just do this. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't need to be live reporting everything COVID, because remember too, some people come on social media for a break because this is heavy stuff.
Yes.
Some people, and if every swipe, social distancing, COVID, it gets a bit much for
I'm
them.
Going to give go ahead.
No, you're saying?
Sorry. I'm going to give you a real example. So again, I use my time to visit a lot of brands, small, large, medium, on social media. It's so funny how, again, tourism is really where I grew up, in that sort of industry. So I have a lot of those companies that I follow. It's amazing how the hotels are able to use PR to engage their customers. And when I look back at how it is that they're able to use that platform, I see over 400 comments, positive comments. So say, for example, they have their bartender. While you are at home, picture being here with us where your bartender, Khadine, is making a daiquiri, a strawberry daiquiri. And they have their bartender showing, hey, so and so. So the next time you come, this will be just for you. But while you're quarantining at home, you can make this daiquiri.
Yes,
yes. And when I look at the comments and the feedback at how they're connected, they have more engagement now
than they did before.
Than when they were just advertising a bartender holding a drink.
Exactly,
say,
because
come to this hotel, no. Right?
Because people are looking for this escape, right?
Absolutely.
So now I'm gonna go look at pretty pictures of hotels that I wish I was at right now.
Right.
If I come across this, imagine how relaxed I would be. And it's the same thing. And I'm gonna big up Red Stripe.
Yes.
Because Red Stripe had a post up the other day, and literally it was like the calm in the middle of a storm. Literally, Red Stripe had a post up with a red stripe there in the sand with just waves. All you was hearing was the ocean waves, and it was like, and the message was literally, relax, we're gonna be okay, Tana your yard. And it was just that. And it was so relaxing. And again, the comments were positive, and people was like, okay, I needed this break right now. And bet you they had sales increase in Red Stripe Day. You know what I mean? Because it's the messaging. It's the messaging.
Who would have thought that you can have a concert on Instagram Live for all these performers? They're keeping their brand alive. And when you look again at the live connections that they're making, they're still saying, hey, it was lit. Everybody's feeling it. You know? Yeah. So again, don't mistake the fact that marketing is the only way to put your product out there. You can indirectly, through proper PR, to again just ensure, I cannot say enough, that the brand loyalty that you're building through this COVID-19 is going to pay off in the end.
Exactly. And the innovation that you show, if you show that you're innovative, and that you can think on your feet literally, and that you can create these things literally out of nowhere, you are going to benefit so much after this, because people are going to go, hey, you remember the lady that did the so and so and so and so, and people are going to remember that you were able to do this, or your brand was able to pull this off. And I want to tell you guys, the world has changed. The world has changed, and it is not going to go back to how it was pre-COVID-19. It's not. Can't. And a lot of the things that are happening now, people didn't realize was possible. Again, Khadine said, who knew that we could have a massive international dance party on Instagram? These things are going to happen more frequently. These things are just going to happen more often, because people go, oh, so I can tune into a big dance over Germany, and I can tell yard and boogie. Yard, and you see, for us introverts, oh Lord, you know what I mean? This is heaven, right? But a lot of these things that have been forged and created out of the adversity and the tragedy that is happening now, believe me, it's just going to make us better going forward as brands, as businesses, especially as personal brands, because a lot of these people who are creating these awesome pieces of content now, believe me, them are going to wash in it after COVID.
I am going to I want to comment two small businesses. I'm not sure if I must mention them. But
mention them, please.
Just show you how, let me look up for the one. For example, True Shades. You know True Shades. And when you look at her page, she has something there where during quarantine, showcase your best glam look. You know, remember, you're in the house. You know, so sometimes for us females who are, if we're into makeup, you know, we want to just take our time. Sometimes putting on the makeup makes us feel good. So she had this sort of competition, show us your best glam look, right? And again, this is just putting your brand out there, being visible, engaging your audience. There's this other small spa owner, and her recent post was to, again, she came on camera to say, hey guys, I know you're not able to be with us right now, but we want to share some tips on how to create your own homemade body scrub. Right. And so again, I saw for the very first time, she had over 100 comments. All right. And that to me was very fantastic. You are not throwing it in their faces. How can during COVID-19 you just throw into their faces? Come for a, you know what I mean? Come for the best spa treatment during COVID-19, right? Relieve yourself from so and so and so, right? Remember, the spending power of people today is not all that, right? So there's so many opportunities. I can only say there are so many opportunities to begin through this crisis. Just remain calm. And I am for businesses who are determined to have a formal operational structure. And when I say a formal operational structure, you've seen what COVID-19 is able to sort of impact. Moving forward, please have a crisis management plan.
And so give us some of the steps to do that, Khadine.
In terms of having a crisis management plan?
A crisis PR strategy and plan,
The first thing you're going to look at is your internals, your employees, right? So you want to make sure that your employees understand how to, the message must be clear to them as well. You don't want them to be going outside and to have all sort of different message. And boy, the boss this, and boy, the boss that, and the boss no business about nobody, and so forth. The first step is to have a meeting with your team members and to say, this is how we move forward. And in the event something should happen, and I'm not talking about COVID-19 right now, your crisis management should mean any sort of crisis, which means it can be a natural disaster, say a hurricane, it can be a fire, it can be an employee who perhaps something happened and they went to the media. How to approach when something can have a negative impact on your business and your customers.
Okay. What if you're a digital brand and business and it's just you one?
In terms of how to deal with a crisis?
Yeah, your strategy forward
you still have internals, because I'm sure you have either your partners or your clients that you're going to actually communicate with. I have a partner, okay. I have a major company, I have a bank who, again, their intention is to recommend me as a marketer for their clients. And I was very pleased with their internal strategy, because they came and they said, we want to talk to you about how it is that you communicate to our customers. Right? So we all want to be on the same page and we want to have the same message. We can't be over here trying to be sensitive to the issue, and by the time you call them as a partner, you're saying a whole different message. So even if you're a sole trader, you still, I'm sure some way, somehow, you have some sort of internals that you need to communicate with. Whether it's a supplier, whether it's somebody who you contract to do some sort of work, you have to communicate with your internals. After you communicate with your internals and having created a message in terms of how to move forward, you want to make sure that you have the different, what we call, whether strategies or tactics on how you're going to roll out that sort of message. So it's very basic. So whether you're going to use this social media platform, whether it is that you are going to, based on the size of your company, you're going to have maybe a press launch, or you're going to put out a press release in the media to talk about what it is that you're doing. And a press release, remember, these sort of things does not necessarily cost. You can pay for an ad to say, to communicate your message, to say, we are with you through this, that sort of thing. So have your tactics or your strategies in terms of how it is that you're going to communicate to your audience. And then
on social media, because for social media brands and businesses, they may not, do the traditional media, but guys, your stories, you can still put out a press release on social media using your stories. You can either do a nice video to say, hey guys, we see what is happening, we understand that you're going through this, believe me, we are going through something similar here, make sure your family's safe, blah blah blah, follow the instructions of the authority. You can still do a nice little video, put on your feed, put in your stories, or write out something and put in your stories and put in your feed and still communicate. So you're doing the same thing Khadine is saying as a traditional business or a brick and mortar would do, but you're just doing it in the social space. Yes. So it's not hard to transfer that over. Use up your social media platforms, have conversations with them. I see a lot of people going live. So you can now start using up more of the features of the platform, learning the platform and using up more of the features to just do that communicating with your, whether it is, as Khadine said, your supplier, the person who deliver your things, because especially if you're a restaurant business and you're online, or retail and you're online and you are still delivering things, your delivery guy needs to know what your messaging is at this point. So let me go there insensitive to what it is that is going on with you. So him don't go there people them also act a fool, because remember, when he goes there, he's representing your business. So
Yeah.
you have to make sure that you deliver people them, you're supplying people them, everybody understands that this is where we're at right now, and we kind of need you to be a little bit more sensitive. So
Right.
that's what Khadine is talking about, right?
Somebody pointed out, which is a very good thing to mention. If you're a small business, another PR strategy is, hey, tell your clients, put a post, say Happy Easter, and remember to stay safe and stay inside. And
Exactly.
these are simple PR strategies. I'm sure maybe your followers are aware of this company called Blue Dot.
Yes.
Yes, and you've seen what they've been able to do in terms of innovating. And again,
Yes.
they're not promoting their core service. They're actually they're doing outreach.
Yes.
They're doing
right.
outreach, and through outreach, it will allow them to connect with other of their major clients or new clients. Their corporate Jamaica is their main clientele.
Right.
And so on. And in doing this sort of thing, the strategy that they have initiated, major applause for them. And they are definitely going to come out winners. So they're not saying, hey, guys, do this. It's more outreach that they're doing.
And they're collaborating.
They're collaborating. I also remember when they were the first to initiate donating money to find the missing young lady.
Yes, I
so
remember that as well.
These are PR strategies. And
Yes.
so when these are PR strategies, it allows them to be in the media and helps them with their visibility.
More people.
It doesn't cost them. So these are strategies. I'll give you, when I wrote my book, which I hope at the end, watching the time, I'll be able to just mention it. But when I wanted to promote this book, I strategically wanted to launch during World Entrepreneurship Day because it was current. It was the conversation at that time in terms of small businesses. And when I reached out to various organizations, it was easier for them to entertain the conversation because it was a book to help companies, and the Ministry of Commerce say, hey, it's very timely, Khadine. These are some of the books that we can give to some of our small businesses graduating from the accelerator program. So it was very timely.
Right.
And with that, when I approached the media, they were ready to put me on air. So I got mileage out of it.
So timings.
Without
timing
paying
is essential.
for these sort of things. I got media mileage from all of this. So you had to be current, play on the trends, but you do not want to use the opportunity to let people feel as though you're making profit from the COVID-19. That is very distasteful. All right.
Yeah.
So the message should not be for people to feel that way. It really is all about the connection and building brand loyalty through empathetic and mindful marketing and PR.
Exactly. And what you'll find too is that there are a lot of collaborations going on. And there's actually a crossover happening between traditional personalities and social media personalities. So you will have a social media person talking to a politician, talking to a doctor, talking to a scientist or whatever, trying to get information so they can share that with their audience. That's a collaboration between the digital world and the traditional media spaces. And that's also something that you can think about doing. I know, Khadine, Tuesday you had Dr. Andre right on your thing, talk to helping people understand, okay, what's the economic issues that are going to come up with this whole COVID-19 thing, and what can you do to cushion the inevitable fallout of this. Am I frozen?
Yes.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm hearing you clearly, but you're frozen.
Okay, as long as you guys are hearing me. So it's like so you had that conversation. So looking at other brands to collaborate with, whether they're brands in the digital space or not, is actually a good strategy to do right now. But again, as Khadine said, you and this person will have to have that conversation about what the messaging is and what the tone is, because the tone can be collaborating, and one person over here is sell, and the other person is, oh, we care about you and what you're doing, then it's not going to translate so well, right? So you still have to make sure that they know what is happening with you. They know what is going on in terms of your messaging as well. So collaborating, having regular frequent conversations. Regular and frequent is the same thing, but never mind. Having frequent conversations with your audience, not necessarily about COVID, but just to find out, I mean, how you doing? You guys all right? What you thinking? What are your thoughts? You know? How are you coping? Share some of your strategies with others in the comments. And this is how you actually get engagement going as well, because people need a release. People need a space to come and, you know, have a conversation and release and just feel like they're in the company of people who understand. And just to build, you can use this time to build that community by doing this. So these are just some of the things. These are just some of the ways that we want you to pivot that message to be more of a PR communication strategy, and less, oh, hey, we have a 50% COVID sale off. I mean, guys, come on.
Kadia, you and I spoke about active listening as well.
Yes.
And
yes.
In my introduction, we did mention that during the crisis, it can make you or break you, depending on how it is. And this is where, again, content and context will come into play. Because here you have a company who is just continuously promoting and making all these posts, but the customers are having a problem with the customer service. And so for each post that they make, thinking that they're engaging and putting the message and the brand out there, for each post, all the comments are based on poor customer service. And again, there's not one engagement to address any of the persons that would make a complaint. And that's, I can't imagine what's going to happen in the end. Right now, the tone has changed, where customers are now saying that they're going to go to their competitor. That is where the conversation is at right now. You know, so you have to really be involved in the overall conversation, the real-time conversation, and the feedback that you're getting from your customers during this time.
Yeah, so practicing social listening is going to be important. And by social listening, it's really looking at what the feedback that your brand is, what are people saying about you, whether to your face, in your comments, in your DMs, or behind your back when you're talking to other people. So you need to be paying attention to that, and as best as possible, addressing some of the issues that people are having with your brand, or if the feedback is good, promoting the feedback. And this is something that you guys can do right now without any issues, is to promote the feedback that you are getting. So if people say, oh, I absolutely love this brand, it was the best or whatever, start posting some of those feedback to your page, to your stories or whatever, and just to let other people know that people like me, you know, my services are good, whatever. So you're indirectly still promoting, but it's still not, you're not, put it this way, you're not using a sales copy then. So you're not, your tone is not sales. Your tone is, hey guys, we're established, people like us, you may want to check us out, but just make sure that you're okay. It's that kind of tone. All right. So Khadine, is there any other thing you want them to know, like, that is important when they're thinking about their PR strategy?
Again, they're just easy ways that will not cost. I just want to remind them that, again, these are things that you can do to effectively stay visible within the marketplace from the virtual discussion. So if, for example, you are selling a hair product, now is the time to have the virtual discussion about hair and beauty and so forth, you know, to just, again, connect. People may have questions. The doctors who would talk about, you know, just promoting certain procedures and so forth. Here's the time to really educate. The virtual discussions that are happening really is either one, to entertain based on the industry that you're in, like what the DJs and the artists are doing. And for most industries, now is the time to educate, and inform, not so much to sell. All right. So those are the key areas. And again, we just want to wish everybody well during this period. Again, keep calm, keep safe. And when I say keep safe as well, make sure that your employees are of major priority. That's a part of the PR strategy as well. You must have internal PR strategy and external PR strategy. Everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to be communicating the same thing.
Yeah, Kumia said, I like the idea of showing how to make something. Yes, if you're a barber, if you make slippers, if you make clothes, start doing some more behind the scenes videos of how you make this. Maybe if as a barber you go, hey guys, this is how you can maintain your look until you're able to come into the shop again to get a proper cut. If you are it doesn't even matter what you do, but now it's a good time to show people your brand personality.
And that is why you're going to also use the time to educate yourself on the various platforms. So if you are selling a product, a homemade product that's into art and craft, maybe you should really go on Pinterest as well and understand how Pinterest really works. You know, a lot of the art and craft, whether it's bloggers or just, you know, entrepreneurs who make their own stuff at home, maybe it is that, you know, you can see the value in that sort of platform. So use this time, don't waste the time. Use the time to educate yourself and understand how PR and marketing really works. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
It is going to pay back.
And this is a good segue now to say that it is also a good time for you guys to learn something new. You may just unfortunately realize that actually I no longer have a job. I'm not going to have a job after this. Or you realize that the business that I was in is going to no longer be a thing after this crisis is finished, because that's something that is going to happen. A lot of people are going to realize that my little thing over here, so because again, the world is changed forever after this. And it's the same for every tragedy. After every international crisis, the world either evolves or changes in some way. So upgrade some skills. And I'm not trying to say that, oh, you need to spend all your time doing that. Okay, you need some self-care. You need some time for yourself, for your mental health. But in some of those spare times, in between Netflix, in between YouTube, try learning something, try developing your skills, even your business skills. Try learning more about your industry. Try having conversations with industry people where maybe that try to get to what they never get to before. They're home now, they got time. Reach out to them and see if they're willing to have a conversation. The more you make people understand about your business and what it is that you do, the more they understand, is the more they're going to want to support as well. So, Khadine, quickly, your book.
Yes.
What is the book about? Where can we find it?
I just want to point out that through crisis, again, comes emerging industries.
Definitely.
Right? And innovation. Through crisis, you will have innovation. Look at how many small restaurants are now providing delivery service.
Exactly.
Right? Who would have thought that this will become a thing?
We'll find 500 ways to deliver food already.
and that is why Uber in 2008 was launched. It was during the Great Recession in 2008, the financial crisis in 2008, because from time to time, and for companies who have been in business for 20 odd years, and you say you're a small company, but we did it before social media, you better think again, right? Trends will come up, and so you have to keep up with the times. Fortune 500 companies died because they were not keeping up with the technological
Anybody
changes.
remember BlackBerry? Anybody remember Nokia and BlackBerry?
Correct.
Okay.
And Blockbuster. Right?
Exactly.
Blockbuster did not want to go
Radio
digital,
Shack.
and yes, and Blockbuster did not want to go digital when Netflix approached them. And Netflix, all right, we do it by ourselves, and so Netflix had put them out of business.
All right.
Right.
So
So with
just so
my
you
book,
guys know.
yes, my book, I think we have 6 minutes. With this
Yes.
book here, available at Fontana Pharmacy Island
Hold
wide.
it up a little bit more, Khadine. Okay.
Campaign planning made easy. It has a simple approach to really understanding how to create this campaign plan now moving forward during this time and post COVID-19, but it's very simple to understand for those persons who do not understand how to integrate PR and marketing. It will give you and share knowledge on what PR is versus marketing, and then it looks at the campaign plan, the who, the what, the when, the why, the where, and it is a workbook actually. So it helps you to put the information in this workbook, and there's a template. We use a company, a small business who would like to launch out, and it creates that sort of campaign plan for them. And then at the back, you have your template to write your campaign. So here it has state the basis of your campaign, what it is that you want to achieve. So you write it down after we've explained whether you want it to be informative or persuasive. It also explains the messaging, how to develop a message for your company, and it talks about a new day, the paradigm shift, and the dialogue and the processes involved in that, and then how to do evaluation. So all of that is in the book.
What's the name of the book again, Khadine?
Campaign Planning Made Easy. Campaign Planning Made Easy, available at Fontana Pharmacy Island wide.
Okay, awesome. All right, so Khadine, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
For joining. You girl, you dropped some gems. Available at Fontana, you said?
Yes, Fontana Pharmacy.
I'm putting it in the chat. Fontana Pharmacy. All right, guys. Before we go, speaking of emerging industries, guys, e-commerce is one of the industries that is not only surviving, but is actually growing because more people are home, whether by force or self-quarantining or whatever. And after COVID, more people will be home because they've gotten laid off, their businesses shut down or whatever. So, and Khadine said something that is so true, and I keep saying it, guys, having a prime location doesn't mean anything in 2020, and it is going to mean less and less going forward, because the world after COVID is going to truly be digital, because people have realized, and Jamaica too, I think, have realized how much we have actually been able to do with the available technology we have, not new and emerging technology, technology that has been about for 20 odd years. Now people are getting medical services through an app, MD Link. People can communicate directly with businesses. People can order things online and have it delivered directly to them. We found 500 different ways to deliver food, deliver packages. I'm so impressed by the innovation. But then this is how we are as a people. We're very innovative. We're very business minded.
Communicate directly with businesses.
Sorry.
We're very entrepreneurial, so we'll always find a way. But I also want you guys to consider the e-commerce space, because it's just going to grow. It's going to grow, and it could be a way, it could be a second stream of income. It could be some way that you supplement the income that you already have, or it could just be how you support yourself, period. So thinking ahead, I called up Mr. McIntosh, who is somebody that I met at the e-commerce conference that School Market put on the other day.
Yes.
And I said, listen, no, I know you know what you're talking about when it comes to e-commerce, because he's among the top sellers globally.
Yes.
And he has been wanting to have conversations with Jamaicans, but he has been finding it difficult to do that because of several reasons. So, and this is the thing, guys. This is how you communicate and talk to people and present yourself is important. Yes. Because I had one conversation with that man at the conference, and ever since then we've been in communication because he appreciated how I approached him and how I talked to him.
Yeah,
So I was
it's
able
so
to.
funny. It's so funny you connected with him, because I was trying to research. I saw an article about him and his family, and I was really trying to reach out to see if I could even host him on my platform. But when I saw that you were promoting the opportunity to have him engage him in
Yeah.
discussion, I took that advertisement and placed it on my platform as well. So I
Oh,
don't know if
thank
you
you.
saw it. I had placed it on in the
Yes.
stories. It really is about helping everybody to succeed.
Yeah, man. So on the 27th, we're going to be having a webinar. You don't have to leave your house. All the information is in my bio, and we're just going to teach you how to get started and how to get growing.